Today we are covering one of my favorite topics, play in early childhood. What a concept, right? All right, to begin, let's go over some mythbusters about play, particularly in the classroom. Think true or false. Free choice centers instead of rotating centers are chaotic and difficult to manage. What are your thoughts? Okay, next question. Taking recess away is an appropriate behavior management strategy. True or false? Children from certain backgrounds might need more structure. And finally, does play only happen during center's time? Take a second. Did you think some were true, some were false? If you thought that they were all false, you would be correct. These are all false statements. Taking recess away is not an appropriate behavior management strategy. Please, 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 please do not ever take recess away from your child or your students thinking that it is going to support their behavior. Play should be happening throughout the day. So let's dive in a little bit more and look at some types of play. To start off, we're going to talk about 3 types of play, all of which are found in ECR, but one of which is most appropriate for centers. There are likely a variety of definitions you could come up with for each, and in fact, you may see guided play, facilitated play, and free choice centers all being used separately to refer to the same thing. These are framed based on our approach and conceptual framework. So, structured play can be playful, but it is generally teacher-directed. So, in structured play, there are not many choices, and children follow the directions of a teacher. So, think of like a tabletop game. Centers, guided art activities, whole group games. Everyone's making a snow globe, that type of thing, or putting together puzzles. Everyone is creating, but for a very specific purpose, and usually it's academic. This type of play is not bad, but it does have a specific purpose. Now, guided or free choice play gives students a lot of choice and interaction for children, but it is still academically or socially emotionally linked to current learning. The teacher facilitates but also follows children's leads. The examples might be allowing children to create a new game using the materials in the sand and water table, or a spontaneous puppet show using a book from the day's read aloud. Finally, free play. Free play is generally child-directed, and outdoor play is an example of free play. But centers can also be free play as well. Free play centers are often seen in toddler classrooms where there's a lot of physical, worldly exploration as children discover how things work, finding gross motor skills, and basic logic and language. Free play generally lacks the thematically linked centers and children focus more on self-discovery of materials, their uses, and other manipulations. So let's dive into the research a little bit. One area of conflict in education that has emerged from the idea that play and learning, and particularly academic learning, are at odds with one another. There's an appearance that play has been decreased for direct instruction in both preschool and elementary school. Unfortunately, most children don't ever reach a high level maturity with their make-believe play. This is just kind of a sad truth that has been found in recent years. I found this to be really interesting. This says that researchers have found that 7-year-olds of today have self-regulation levels more like those of the preschool children of the 1940s, which could be attributed to the decline in both quantity and quality of play in preschool. In this reference study, children's ability to follow directions and play in non-play settings, in comparison to children of the 1940s and the early 2000s, they were not able to follow directions much better during play until they were much older, in around 7 years of age, which indicates that children lack enough play to develop the self-regulation needed, and they also lack out-of-school make-believe playtime. So let's talk a little bit more about free play. What's the answer? Well, there isn't really one answer. If you just have unlimited free play time, it's kind of like candy. Too much candy is going to give you a stomach ache. Just like Too much free or too much structured can limit learning. Researchers tend to agree on everything in moderation, so each type of play has a purpose and a home. Guided play is most appropriate for centers play. It increases the deliberateness of play, um, like sitting in a chair to pretend to drive, or peer to peer learning, vocabulary, initiation of peer play. It also provides opportunities for mature play, delayed gratification, and turn taking. Free play, exclusive free play, reduces gains in literacy and math, but it allows for choice, perspective taking, and friendship development. Structured play supports increased language development. So, really, every play type has a home, and it should be used in the classroom. Here's a graph of just kind of the outcomes of each type of play. So, on the left, you can see whether it is included in ECR and where in ECR it is included. And to the right, you can kind of see an overview of the results. So, free play, you'll find it in recess, limited centers. It's excellent for gross motor development. It doesn't show a huge impact on academic learning. Guided free choice play, seen in centers, it does show increased vocabulary, increased peer initiation. It's also very inclusive for all students in the classroom. And in structured play, you'll find that, throughout the day, almost everywhere. And that shows increased language, though it does have a limited impact on math and reasoning. So, as you can see, it's really a mix of things that are important. Here's a slide with all of the resources if you're interested in diving in a little bit more. Now, let's chat about facilitating play without interfering or overtaking. The role of the teacher or play facilitator is to connect the dots, encouraging all children to engage in purposeful play. An essential strategy to support and encourage purposeful play is to join children's play and play with them. Also, it's fun. This is more than monitoring their play for safety and questioning children about their play experiences. Playing alongside children allows an opportunity for you to observe children as they practice new skills and model strategies for them that deepen their play and support critical thinking and problem-solving skills. For example, you might model conflict resolution with a teddy bear as a teachable moment, or I don't know, maybe a child's having trouble building blocks and you want to model with them how they can persevere and keep trying. But knowing how to interplay is really important. We want to support and deepen children's play, but we don't want to interrupt it or overtake it. The OWL technique, observe, wait, and listen, can help you know when to enter children's play. Of course, always step in when safety is an issue and reinforce children's attempts and successes. Children are learning when they try new things, whether they fail or they succeed. So what is the OWL method? First, you observe children. Just look at them, see what they're doing. Then you wait to see how they will solve problems and make discoveries. Give them a moment. Give them a little bit of time to see what they're going to do, what's coming next. Finally, listen to what children say. You could learn a lot. Once you've observed, waited, listened, then you are ready to enter play on their terms. So think, based on that strategy, how can you join into play during centers in your classroom? This week, we're going to role play how we can provide effective support during a center's facilitation. As you get ready to come to deliberate practice this week and throughout the week, I want you to notice the types of questions you're asking your students. Are you asking more behavior management questions like, where do you put that away? How should you use that? Or are you expanding their involvement, such as, why did you choose to do that? What are you making? What will you do next? And also think about how you can just join in the play. This is a really fun time of year, and your students are in a really exciting unit. So maybe they're coming up with a really fun game or something to play that they would really have fun having you join in. I've included a link to some question stems in the Canvas course, so please review some of these so you can support your facilitation. And this week we are going to role play some play. So if you could please bring some blocks to deliberate practice, that would be fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Have a good one. Bye.